Yeah, probably because he's younger.
Yeah, I think he felt harder or whatever, and got mixed up in his feelings and didn't know what was real and what was not.
Anything else we can learn from this?
I mean,
what about marriage and monogamy?
What?
Is it really sustainable to expect to be monogamous?
Yeah, well,
throughout a whole marriage.
Well, I'm going to use my parents as an example, right? Because like my parents in August, they will be married for 38 years.
Damn.
So like I've had a really great example of marriage and like a relationship. Whatever. It's like my dad hasn't stepped like it's been my mom like for 38 years. Hasn't stepped out at all. Whatever. So like I've had a great example. So I still believe in monogamy. And then I tell my friends all the time, it's like I just need to find one, and that's it.
That's
like
nice.
I don't need to date 2 and 3 or 4 girls. I just want one that likes me for me and like doesn't care.
Can you do this for me? I don't know. Not everybody has a relationship with their fathers where they can just talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But can you talk to your dad about like, I guess the difficult parts of staying married that long, or like, what about like, the pressures of just being there for that person for so long through difficult times? Like that, I think those are the things that damage relationships or cause relationships to look different from what we expect. Is just like life.
Yeah.
When life hits the relationship, how do you respond? Because it's easy to love somebody when everything's going okay.
Yeah, like I know, like my dad would say, this like communication, like is the main thing. And then I know that like from the last time I talked to him, I mean I don't know if this still upholds whatever, but like I remember like when you know how like they say like when women get mad or whatever, they'll make the guy sleep on the couch or whatever. It's like my dad, last time I talked to my dad about, I was like, hey, has mom ever made you sleep on the couch? He said, yeah, like in the time that we've been married, which was a long time at this point. He said, yeah, I slept on the couch one time.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was. So I know. And then speaking to him, probably like I don't know if this was a year ago or a few months ago, but he said I was complaining about like I don't understand women or whatever. I was like, Dad, like I don't know what this means. Like this is what happened. This is the situation, whatever. He's like, well, I can tell you from experience that I've been married to your mother for, I think it was probably like 30. It was over 30 years at this point. Whatever. He's like, I've been married to your mother for 30 years, and I still don't understand some things that she does. Whatever. So it's like you have to
kind of go with flow.
Yeah, just like go with flow, whatever. It's like at the end of the day, you're never gonna understand like women at all. Whatever. So you just have to pick your arguments, basically.
Fight your battle.
Yeah, but yeah, pick your battle. Pick your battle, and that's it. Whatever. But at the end of the day, whatever, you're never gonna understand.
I feel like I'm just getting to the point where I'm understanding men.
But like but me and my brother, like we've had like I mean we've seen that for 30 or for over 30 years, both of us. So it's kind of like so in my mind or whatever, like that's what the example is. It's like all these people that have 2, 3, or 4 women was like
But you don't know what your parents deal with.
Yeah, I don't. But they at the same time they also do a good job of hiding that from us too, though, because they want us to see the good example. Did
they ever talk to you about why they got together, like how they met?
Like I know they met in so this is the story of how they met. So like they met in middle school actually.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they met in middle school. When they were like they went to different high schools, and so they're from Richmond, just to give a place where they're from. So they're from Richmond.
Lakeisha's from Richmond, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, they're from Richmond. My mom went to George Wythe High School. My dad went to Maggie Walker High School. So they lived on different sides of Richmond or whatever, but it was still the south side of Richmond, but they didn't live like next to each other or whatever. But they went to the same middle school though, right? Went to different high schools. So my dad went to University of Virginia, and my mom went to Hampton University. right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think at this point it had been years since they had seen each other too, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after my dad graduated from University of Virginia, he moved to Michigan to work for Dow Chemical,
Mm-hmm.
right? So on Christmas break, whatever. So like no, in December, he flew back to Richmond, or I don't know if he flew or drove, but he went back to Richmond to visit, and he was at the mall probably buying a gift or something. Then he saw my mom at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
This had been the first time they had seen each other in a long time.
Since middle school?
I mean, they might have seen each other in passing, whatever, but really like seeing each other. But so they exchanged numbers when they were at the mall. And then then my dad, after the break, whatever. I mean, I think they might have had a date during the break, whatever. I don't really remember. But so my dad went back to Michigan, but they spoke on the phone like every day, since like when my dad flew back to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 8 months later, my dad came back to Richmond and proposed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they didn't waste any time.
Yeah.
And they've been together 38 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love stories like that.
Yeah, like
that goes to show, like when it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter how much time.
And it's like when you know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't waste any time, whatever. So he came back 8 months later with the ring, and 38 years, like 37 years going on 38.
What did he like about her?
I've never gotten in that type of discussion with him about like what attracted you to mom, whatever. But I just know that that's my mom.
I ask questions.
Yeah. So like we didn't get in that deep of a discussion about.
Man, ask them.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them.
I should ask. I think I'm gonna ask him that next time.
What appealed to you about mom? Like just ask.
But
Be surprised.
But we've seen that for like 30 years, and I remember like I was a little kid. I was probably in middle school maybe, or elementary or middle school, when my parents were arguing with each other, and I happened to be like, they were arguing in the kitchen, and I happened to be in the kitchen or whatever, right? So then like I went like this.
Mm-hmm.
I covered my ears because I didn't want to hear them argue, whatever. And then so when I did that, they stopped arguing.
Yeah.
Like that, like they stopped arguing, whatever, and then like were explaining to me like about sometimes we get in disagreements or whatever, but you have nothing to worry about and whatever. So I was like, okay, but like I didn't want to hear my parents argue or whatever. So
interesting. All right.
But yeah, like I just don't So me, like I get people to want to have multiple women because I guess it makes them feel cool. But me, like that's never been me.
Cool.
Yeah, that's never been me though.
So you could eat the same cereal every morning for the rest of your life?
Yes, I could. Like I could literally eat Raisin Bran every single day for the rest of my life.
That just goes to show there's different types of people.
Yeah,
because 90% of the guys that I meet out here are like, no. I literally
eat I eat Chick-fil-A a lot. Like I could eat Chick-fil-A every day. Now I do get tired of it sometimes, whatever. But I eat Chick-fil-A a lot. You can ask my friends. Like I'm always at Chick-fil-A. Every time they call me, I'm getting something from Chick-fil-A. So, but yeah, like I could eat the same. But to answer your question, I could eat the same cereal every day for the rest of my life. But I do like a lot of cereal though. I could eat Raisin Bran every day. I could eat Frosted Flakes every day. I could eat Corn Pops every day.
So that's 3 different wives, Roger.
But like I would eat one every day though.
I feel like there was a time in my life where I knew for sure that I could do that. I could be with the same person day in, day out. Same cereal every day from morning for the rest of my life.
What about now?
I don't know. Because I worry sometimes that dynamics in relationships change. So the same thing that caused you to be drawn to me in the beginning, that might go away. Excuse me. Then what? Then,
but
then we become like we're butting heads all the time because you don't see me as being the same person anymore.
But at the same time, like you can't let that. What's what I'm trying to say? Like, but you don't know that that's gonna happen though.
You don't know that's gonna happen?
Yeah, you don't know that that's gonna happen.
You don't think you're gonna change at all?
I mean, no, like you're gonna change, but I'm saying it's like you don't know if your partner's gonna be like, oh, I don't like this that you're doing now. I mean, you don't know, so.
But think about this. And this is where I think two types of people comes in. I think there's people. Well, first of all, did you know that even in hospitals, it's so customary for men to leave their wives when their wives get sick, that even doctors that prepare for it, like it's like a pattern. Like men have a tendency, and I think men and women both. Because honestly, I always begin this story by talking about men, but in my family, it actually happened where my mom left my dad when he was sick. So.
Like they got divorced when he was sick?
Yeah. People do that. Think about it though. It can be very overwhelming to be with somebody that has like a something really traumatic. Like you take that on.
Like I get it, but then at the same time, like why even get married then? If you
people don't know what they're getting into.
If you're looking for the coward's way out, that's
so
all.
People don't know what they're getting into. They don't think it's gonna be that hard. Just like everything else, you have a perception of what it's gonna be like. You think you know everything about what it's gonna be like. Then you get in it and you're like, holy shit, get me out. I think that's what happens, Roger.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't know. It's like if why even get married if you're sick or whatever. So like, oh, I can't deal with it. I'm leaving.
I've heard there was a celebrity who gave her husband permission to leave if she got sick. Like if it becomes too much for you, I'm willing to be okay with you leaving. So that's why I have respect for people. Because I actually respect that, Roger. I respect that. Like I respect knowing what your limitations are.
Yeah.
Your limit might be, I can't take care of someone, go to the hospital every day.
So
and
I just feel like you're lying in your vows, and if like for better or for worse, for sickness and in health.
But how many times in your life have you signed up for something and it wasn't what you expected? That happens to me a lot. Like every career opportunity I've had, I just knew exactly what I was going into. But once I got in it, it became something totally different. Just something to think about. I'm not saying it's the rule for everybody.
Right.
But like there's things to look out for, and I think we have to really start challenging our like knee-jerk assumptions about what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's healthy to let somebody go. But I think you're helping me to understand you have to match up with someone who has the same patterns as you, the same style, like relationship style.
Yeah.
Like if you're just built to eat the same type of cereal every day, you need to find somebody who's like that. Don't try to get in a relationship with someone who needs diversity and like that seems for a long time that seems to be like the only type of guys I met who were like, yeah.